York City before it was renamed by the British. What was the name of New York before it was renamed by the British? It was obviously New Amsterdam. I know you've heard of New Amsterdam. That was the name of it. What is the name of the first computer virus in history? You may know it from Minecraft. It's the Creeper. Yep, Creeper. Who was the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes in different sciences? Who was it? Marie Curie. How do you pronounce her name? The Polish woman Marie Curie. Okay. In physics and chemistry, which country has the most time zones, including overseas territories? Most time zones, which country? It's Vive la France. Yeah, France. Which musical instrument has the widest range? Do you play any instruments? You should know this. It's the best instrument ever. It's the pipe organ. Pipe organ has the widest range. Which Apollo mission was the first to orbit the moon but not land on it? Which Apollo mission? It was the Apollo 8. Apollo 8. Oh my god, it's raining outside. You hear that's raining, it's pouring. Do you believe in the moon landing? Comment down below. What is the only number that has the same number of letters as its value in English? Think about this one. It is the number 4. Which ancient civilization invented the concept of zero? Zero. Which ancient civilization invented the concept of zero? It was my favorite, the Mayas. The Maya. Which planet has a day longer than its year? Which planet has a day longer than its year? Venus. I'm your Venus. I'm your Goddess. Which chemical element is named after a Scandinavian god? Do you know your Scandinavian gods? This is so easy. Which chemical element? It's thorium, named after Thor. Thorium. I'd say thorium. But that's it. What is the most spoken constructed, meaning made-up language in the world? What is the most spoken made-up language in the world? It's Esperanto. Do you speak Esperanto? Tell me in the comments down below. I don't know a word of Esperanto. Which is the only country whose flag is not square or rectangular? Which country has a flag that is not a square or rectangular? It's Nepal. Nepal. What is the only letter not used in any US state name? The only letter that is not used in any US state name. Maine, New York, Texas. It's Q. The letter Q is not used in any state. That's crazy. What is the only food that does not spoil, so it doesn't go bad? Which is the only food that does not spoil? It's honey. It's honey. I don't know what I was trying to imitate a bee, but what is the only US state with a one-syllable name? A one-syllable name. What is the only state with a one-syllable name? It's Maine. Maine. What color is hippopotamus sweat? What color is hippopotamus sweat? This is crazy. This is actually a crazy question. Which color is a hippopotamus sweat? Pink. Just give me a reason. Just a little bit. Okay, what city is located in 2 continents? I almost forgot the word. Which city is located in 2 continents? It's Istanbul, not Constantinople. you remember dancing to that song in Just Dance, like on the Wii, you are an OG. Dance! Which language has the most words based on dictionary entries? Which language has the most words based on dictionary entries? Well, it's the language I'm talking right now. Portuguese, no, English. Which sea creature has 3 hearts and a blue blood? Which sea creature has 3 hearts and a blue blood? It's octopus. Yeah, octopus. Which historical figure inspired the Dracula myth? Or is it a myth? I don't know, but who inspired the Dracula? It was someone called Vlad the Impaler. He's got a crazy story called Look Up Vlad the Impaler. He was absolutely a menace, bro. He was a menace to society. Shakespeare question: which Shakespeare play has the most lines? Is it Romeo and Juliet? No, it's Hamlet. I've seen Hamlet, like a modernized version of it, and it was the absolute worst thing I've ever seen in my whole life. The person stripped and came to the audience. I don't even want to talk about it. It's which philosopher famously stated this very famous quote: "I know that I know nothing. I know that I know nothing." Like, oh my, that's like, ooh, I know that I know nothing. Who said that? Was it Socrates? Yeah, it was Socrates. Socrates said that I know nothing, and I actually relate to Socrates here very much. What is the rarest M&M color? The rarest M&M color. There's blue, yellow, red, but which is the rarest one? It's brown. Which ancient region's name means between the rivers? Which ancient region's name means between the rivers? It's Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia. That's called between the rivers, apparently. Which 20th century artist cut off his own ear? Who was it? It was the crazy Flying Dutchman Vincent van Gogh. Which company originally owned Skype before Microsoft? RIP Skype, by the way, RIP Skype. I remember using Skype before Discord was a thing. I always used Skype, and I remember that freaking ringtone so vividly. But which company owned Skype before Microsoft? It was a website that I have never ever used. eBay owned it. Which is the longest living vertebrate? How do you say that? Vertebrate? Known to science. So, longest living vertebrate. I don't know how to say that word. Anyways, tell me which is the longest living vertebrate. It's my absolute favorite. It's the Greenland shark. I love the Greenland shark. They can live like 400 years old, 500 years old or something. At least 300, I don't know. But maybe 500 years. I don't know. Super, like, they're old. They live very, very, like, at the bottom of the oceans in very cold environments. I guess that's why they live so long. Which element is named after a scientist who never discovered it? So there's an element named after this dude, but he never even discovered it himself. It's Einsteinium. Einsteinium. I guess that's what it is. Einsteinium. Which video game was the first to be played in space? It was Tetris was the first ever game to be played in space. Which animal's fingerprints are so similar to humans that they can confuse crime scene investigators? Which animal's fingerprints, they're so close to ours, they can even confuse crime scene investigators. They are the smelly koalas. Oh, the koalas, bro. What the heck? Okay, this is a good one. What does CAPTCHA, you know those things where it says verify you're a human, then you have to click the box. What does it mean? The CAPTCHA. What does it mean? watched The Simpsons. I couldn't care less, but Simpsons. Bart's evil twin is called Hugo. Which Star Wars character speaks the fewest words in the original trilogy? This is a good one. Who speaks the least? It's Boba Fett. Boba Fett, not to be confused with the Pokemon. What 2000s music video was the first to hit 1 billion views on YouTube? 1 billion. Which was the first song to hit 1 billion views? It was Gangnam Style. What was the name of Taylor Swift's first single? Are you a Swiftie? What was her first single? It was Tim McGraw. Which K-pop group was the first to perform at the Grammy Awards? K-pop. Are you a K-pop fan? I know there's a few K-pop fans there, but which was the first to perform at the Grammys? Obviously, it was Bangtan Sonyeondan, so it's BTS. Yeah, BTS. Which singer originally passed on the song Umbrella before Rihanna recorded it? You know, you can stay under my umbrella. Which singer turned that down? That song. It was Britney Spears. What's the first feature-length film to be created entirely with CGI? So like an fully animated CGI movie, first ever full-length movie. It was Toy Story 1. You've got a friend in me. Toy Story 1. Which movie features a character who only says, "I am Groot"? Which movie has a character that only says, "I am Groot"? Well, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you prefer Marvel or DC? Let me know in the comments down below. Which indie video game became a surprise global hit in the 2020 pandemic? Or during the 2020 pandemic? It was Among Us. What band released an album called Songs of Innocence that auto-downloaded onto iPhones? This is actually crazy because my dad, always when my dad's phone connects to the car, it starts playing this stupid album by U2 called Songs of Innocence. I didn't know that it was auto-downloaded back in the day to all iPhones. I don't know if it still is, but oh my god, now I realized that it was auto-downloaded onto iPhones. That's why it always starts playing, because I don't know why it starts playing iTunes, or I don't know. What was the first video uploaded to YouTube? Everyone knows this. It's the freaking zoo video called Me at the Zoo, where there's the elephant, you know, the video. What is the name of Ariana Grande's brother? I can't really stand him. It's Frankie Grande. Alright, last question is, who was the first artist to reach #1 on Billboard Hot 100 with a TikTok viral song? Who was the artist and what was the song? It was Lil Nas X with Old Town Road.